Okay, so we're here to talk about the business co-op option at Algonquin College here in Pembroke. So my name is Sean Roche, and I am an admissions officer and recruitment officer at Algonquin College here in Pembroke. And I'm actually a business grad from the class of 2012. And I am joined today by our program coordinator, Kim Drake, as well as we have a couple of alumni that have joined us as well. We have Angie Plummer from the class of 2019, just this last winter, as well as Des Bear Patel, who graduated with my class in the class of 2012. So they're going to share a bit about their student experience in the business program, what they're able to get out of it, and what they're doing now at the end of the session. So if you do have any questions for them individually, you can, again, like I said before, submit them through the chat tab or the Q&A tab, and I'll be able to monitor those and get to those whenever we do the Q&A session at the end of the information session. So the business co-op option, it is a 16th month Ontario College Diploma compressed diploma program. So what that means, it is a 2-year full diploma program that we condensed from 4 terms into 3 terms, and we deliver that program over the course of 16 months. And there is an optional paid co-op work term in the summer months between year 1 and year 2, which would typically take place from May until the end of August. And then the students would return for their 3rd term of the program, and then come December, after they've written their exams, they're done the program, they're graduating, they can start on the job hunt if they haven't already started doing that within the last term of the program, which many of our students do, because all the skills that they are able to pick up throughout the entirety of the program and able to apply them to job search skills right away and be able to secure some employment before they actually graduate. So some quick facts about the program. So the admission requirements to get admission into the business program is a grade 12 college level English and a grade 11 college level math. Now for students in the program, there are numerous degree pathway options available out of the program. If anyone does want to extend their learning and maybe go forward into an advanced diploma program or into a university degree program, and I will have a slide in a couple minutes that does show more information on what those pathways do look like. And as I mentioned, there is a 4-month paid co-op option after the first year of studies. Now, for anyone that doesn't partake in that optional paid co-op, it doesn't affect their graduation status. Whenever they graduate, they just don't have the co-op designation on their diploma. But even if they do have a job that they've worked on in the past that is business related, they can tie that into a co-op to get that co-op designation on their diploma, or they can just still work in that position and pick up the skills and experience and be able to bring that back into the school going forward and apply that into any future job prospects that they have after the program. Now, our business program does offer the broadest range of career options at the college. And the reason for that is all of the skills that you will gain within the program, you can apply to many, many different areas in the workforce. So say, for example, through our business program, you get to work on a business plan, do some marketing work, do some accounting work as well. So if you want to go forward and maybe you're a mechanic and you want to open up your own shop one day, if you want to open up your own carpentry business someday, if you want to open up your own daycare, things like that, there's all sorts of different businesses that can be opened up where it does get paired with a different industry. Or maybe you have a spouse that is the mechanic, or you have a spouse that is an early childhood educator, and you want to open up a mom and pop operation like that. So having that business background and having the skills from this program to apply to those different industries will open up many, many doors for you going forward. And you're able to develop different transferable skills that can be used in several different industries. So as I mentioned, if you learn the accounting basics and you start off in an office type of environment, and maybe a couple of years go by and there is an opportunity for you to open up your own business, you can take that accounting knowledge you got from school and the accounting knowledge you got from your previous work and be able to transfer that into your new business, into your new work as well. So there's lots of different options and lots of different pathways for students out of the program. Now, students in the business program, they're able to learn real-life skills applications for business purposes. And one of the ways that we do that is we do pair students with local businesses in the Pembroke downtown area. So they will work with those businesses, learn the in and outs of what they do, the products that they offer, the services that they offer. They may even help out with some office work, whether it be accounting, maybe a bit of marketing, maybe a bit of social media, things like that, because those are things that the students in the business program learn all throughout. So it's not just straight on the numbers side. It's not just straight on the marketing and promotion side. It's all encompassing and brings everything together to make a very well-rounded business grad to be able to be a very good employee, no matter what kind of business you may be in. So some of the activities that we do have the students participate in the program do cover all those different areas that I've talked about. So through our social media classes, the students learn to create different digital media content through the use of photo and video editing software. So if you're working with a small business, marketing and social media is a very big part of their promotion to be able to get their name out there into the masses. So being able to properly market different resources, whether it be the photos or different videos, cutting out the different parts of the video that may not be as attractive to your audience, and be able to tie that up into a very good package that you can market to your audience to be able to get them interested in your product or service. So you'll learn the different skills, different keywords to include in some of those messaging. You'll learn about hashtags, things like that, and how those operate in the social media world. So you're able to get your product and promotions out there as soon as you can. And talking about product, price, place, and promotion, you will also learn the full 4 P's of marketing and develop your own full marketing plan from start to finish through some smaller activities, assignments within the actual marketing course. You will end up with a full marketing plan that you have worked on with a group of students to learn about those, how it works from start to finish, what you need to build in, how you need to promote your product, whether it is a product, whether it is a service. There's different types of promotion aspects that you would have to think of. And then going into the number side of the equation, you will develop an understanding of the full accounting cycle and the finance world. Through the first accounting course, you'll start off doing hand-based accounting, learning what credits are, learning what debits are, how they are applied in the accounting cycle. And then going forward into the subsequent semesters, you'll apply those concepts into the online accounting software programs as well. So you'll learn, start off with the basics, and then we move forward into the computer-based applications, which is generally what a lot of the small businesses use for their accounting softwares. And as I mentioned before about getting paired with the local downtown business, you'll actually get to represent that local business by participating in a mock trade show style event on campus, which this picture that we have is from our event last year. So the groups of students are work with those different downtown businesses. Again, like I said, they learn the in and outs. They have lots of great promotion available through their tables, whether it be through giveaways or different draws, or even selling stuff right off the table there for the business. You'll get to be able to answer the questions that a regular person might have that may not know what that particular business is. You know, what do you do? What are your prices? Things like that. So you'll be able to answer those questions to the college community, because it is open to all students and staff to walk around and ask questions and view the booths for the mock trade show. And then the last part of the program that the students really are really excited about whenever they do finish is the business plan. So we do have a business planning course in the last semester of the program, and through smaller assignments in that course, you're going to end up with a full business plan that you can then take and bring into an investor's office, into a bank, and potentially start on your path to opening up your own business or creating a product, because the first step is getting that potentially the bank loan to get your costs up and started, and having the full professional business plan right on hand that you worked on with your ideas that you're very passionate about, and you want to go forward with opening that business. You can, like I said, you can take that business plan right when you get it back from your professors, and maybe touch it up a little bit if there's some pieces missing. But then the idea is you can then take that business plan into a bank and be able to pitch your idea to start your business that way. So I'll just go over a little bit about the courses that you do take in the business program. So as I mentioned before, there are 3 terms of the program. So if you're looking at this program compared to a full 2-year program, you may see that there are more courses involved within each individual level. But because our program is condensed with the idea of getting our grads out into the workforce 4 months ahead of anyone in a regular 2-year diploma program, it's just a little bit busier within the actual terms. So in your first term, you have your accounting 1 course where, like I said, you're going to start off with the paper-based accounting cycles. You'll learn about different computer applications in the computer applications course, such as Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, all those apps for the Microsoft Office suite. You'll get introduced into economics as well as you'll have a course in communications. You'll also take a course for skills for academic and business success, as well as an introduction to management fundamentals, and as well as a course in business math and introduction to psychology. And then going into the second term, you have your second level of accounting concepts, which you'll be going more forth with the computer-based accounting cycles. You'll learn about the global business environment, computer applications too. You'll dive into more advanced knowledge of those Microsoft Office suites. You'll go forward with communication skills for business, which is going to be more specific to like memo writing, letter writing, email, how to structure reports and proposals, things like that. You'll also have an introduction to project management, as well as the marketing course that I mentioned, where you'll build your full marketing plan. And then you do also have a general education elective in the second term as well. And then coming back for the last semester of the program, you'll explore the different types of the finance, which is a little bit separate from what you would learn in the accounting, whereas finance is going to be more around like financial statements, banking transactions, things like that. You'll also learn about business law and you know, how that applies to not only domestic businesses, but workings between domestic and international businesses. You'll have a work integrated learning option built into the program as well. So work integrated will be like sort of like a work placement, as well as the co-op, but we already had the co-op. So this will be more of getting you into the community and working with different groups to learn about the different types of their businesses and how to apply the skills you learned in the program into a real life situation. You'll also learn about materials and operations management, as well as the business planning course that I mentioned. You'll end up with the full business plan at the end of that course. You'll learn about professional sales, which that mock trade show is part of that particular course. So you'll learn how to, you know, market yourself in those types of areas, not only face-to-face, but whether it be virtually or phone calls as well. You'll also explore human resources management, and then you also have your second general and education elective. So through all those courses, you can see that it does tie all the different aspects of the business world into one program. So you do learn about those, the social media parts, you learn about marketing, you learn about accounting, finance, materials and operations management. So you're able to, whenever you are running your own business, you're able to connect with all those different parts of your business and know how they operate and you know what the inner workings are. So you're not completely left out of the dark in one certain area of your business. Now, different career and pathway options coming out of the program can include working with different domestic and international businesses, working with manufacturing operations, different retailers, finding work within medical facilities or financial institutions, working with government offices, consulting firms, different various large and small businesses, or become an entrepreneur, be your own boss. If you are someone that prefers not to take direction from someone a whole lot, then you may be better suited to be the entrepreneur, to be the boss, to be able to delve out the tasks for the day or the tasks for the week. So there's always that opportunity as well. So I did mention before that there are various degree pathways out of the business program. So I have highlighted a few of them on this slide here. So just to touch on what an articulation agreement or degree pathway is, it is an agreement that exists between universities and colleges across Canada. So essentially universities will recognize the education you have done at a college and apply those credits to an advanced standing application into their degree program. Now there are lots of different types of articulations that can grant you you know, halfway through the first year, credits for the entire first year of the program. There's some that may credit you into the first 2 years of a university program. So they are all different, and they all are all different with different universities as well. But the caveat of that is you can get advanced standing into that degree program, and after spending the year and a half at Algonquin College in Pembroke in the business program, you can potentially get a degree after another 3 years of schooling that way. And then in total, you would have spent about maybe 4.5 years in schooling rather than 4 years of just university. But then this way you get your college diploma and your university degree, and you've only paid maybe 2 or 3 years of university tuition, which on average is about twice as much as what college tuition is. Now, just to talk about a little bit about the options that you have through articulations, you can gain advanced standing into level 4 of the Business Administration Advanced Diploma program at the Ottawa campus. And then finishing up that Advanced Diploma degree program or Advanced Diploma program, you can branch into the Nipissing University Business Administration degree program and complete 1 extra year to get that degree program as well. So that is a fairly good transition to go through the business program into business administration in Ottawa and then to get that degree. But on top of that, there are options with Davenport University where you can receive up to 60 credits towards the 120 credits needed for their Bachelor of Business Administration. So that's basically getting you through the first 2 years. And right into the 3rd year of that program. Nipissing University, you can receive up to 42 advanced standing credits towards 120 credit bachelor for their business administration degree. And with the University of Ottawa, you can receive up to 15 credits to an honors Bachelor of Commerce degree. So depending on what area you may want to go into, if you're more on the commerce side, on the financial banking side, or if you're more on the administration entrepreneur side, that could sway your decision as to which articulation agreement you may go forward with. But there's lots of great success stories for graduates coming out of the program without doing the articulation agreements where they were able to find really good employment. But again, if you do want to go forward with that university, because if you do want to get your degree at some point, then this is a really great option to do so. And it is important to note that you don't have to do it right away. So for someone that graduated this last December, if they wanted to go forward with an articulation agreement, they don't have to go forward right away in January or even this September. They can work in the workforce for a couple of years and then go back and then do that articulation, because for the most part, there's about a 5-year window where graduates can take advantage of those articulation agreements. So I'll just talk about a little bit about the Waterfront campus before we get into more about the testimonials and graduation stories that we have from the business program. So the Waterfront campus in Pembroke, we do have an average class size of about 25 to 50 students across all 21 of our full-time programs. More specific to our business program, we do end up going around between maybe about 20 and 30 students. And that does offer a really great opportunity for one-on-one instruction inside and outside of the classroom. Because if you do think about larger colleges, larger programs that may have, 100, 200 students in that program, that's a lot of students for the coordinators, the professors, and academic advisors to, see and keep up with. But having a smaller class size does offer that greater access to your academic advisors, to your professors, to your coordinators, to your support services as well, to be able to get any questions answered as well. And I can attest to this from someone who was in a class of about 30 students. Whenever I finished my work and, at any one point, there could be a number of hands up in the air asking questions about the work that they were working on. And obviously there's only one professor available in the classroom. So I just eventually got to the point where I would walk around and just help some of the other students with the questions that they had, because that reinforced what we were learning for myself. Plus, I was able to explain that to them maybe in a different way, and it helped them get through and understand some of the concepts as well. So not only the one-on-one between yourself and the advisors and your professors, it's the peer-to-peer interactions that will be very valuable within those smaller class sizes as well. Now, for anyone that's coming to our campus from out of Renfrew County or from the outer edges of the Renfrew County borders, we do have 5 privately owned residences within walking distance of the campus, so you don't have to worry about doing that commute every day. Although I should mention that our business program for this fall, it will be completely remote online, so the students actually won't have to come onto campus with the restrictions that we will have in effect. all the classes will be delivered in a remote fashion, but the important thing to note about that, the biggest difference between a remote learning environment and an online learning environment is the remote learning environment, you still have this face-to-face interaction with your professors. So the classes would still be delivered through a Zoom format, as opposed to an online class or an online program where you won't have that face-to-face interaction with your instructors. It's going to be, like email communication. And again, going back to the number of students that they're looking after hundreds of students. So it could be a little bit of time before you may not get an email back right away. You may not get an answer back right away, but within the remote learning environment, you do have that better access to your services and to your advisors as well. And I have talked about the different hands-on learning and community partnerships and work integrated learning opportunities that we do have available within our business program. And then just some more quick facts about the campus. So I talked about how small, warm, and friendly we are with our great student-to-professor ratio, but that all ties into our commitment to student success, because we do want to make sure that all students that come into our campus within whatever program they are in, for today, our business program, we want to make sure that they're getting their questions answered, seeing anyone that they need to see for whether it be support services or academic advising. We want to make sure that they are going to graduate as an Algonquin grad along the pathway. So we do have lots of great student support services in place, and lots of great events on campus to help students work out the work-life balance as well. Now, we're also very connected with our local labor markets in Renfrew and Lanark counties. So having that connection does introduce different concepts into some of our programming. If there have been any labor gaps identified within those labor market groups, so we can build new information, new curriculum information into our programs going forward, so that the information that we are giving out to the students every year is very fresh and up to date, and giving them the best chance for employment upon graduation. Now, we do hand out over $250,000 in bursaries annually, and we do have about 1,000 students that annually attend our campus. So that really gives a really great chance for the students that are on campus to be able to get a good chunk of money to either put towards their tuition, put towards some of their books, put towards living expenses, transportation, food, like that. If you get a bursary, it's not really, you don't have to use it for tuition. Although it is usually there for that purpose, but there are bursaries that are there to help with different costs as well, such as your transportation, books, or even gear that you might need for your program as well. And about 50% of our students do come from outside of the Renfrew County area. So that does create a really good opportunity for those out-of-town students coming from mostly larger city centers into the smaller Renfrew County area. It makes it more of a welcoming family feeling on campus for those out-of-town students, because the local contingent of the students, they will be very friendly, show them around, what's available within the city, what's available at the campus. Because again, like I said, coming from larger city centers, as I've experienced with on some campus tours, a lot of people say there's a lot less distractions in the Pembroke area as compared to like downtown Toronto. So having less distractions, less to do, but it may not necessarily be less to do, because they may not know about the Algonquin Trail that you can go for a walk on, the Kiwanis Walkway, some of the different areas around the city that are very attractive as well. So having that connection with the local students will make those out-of-town students feel a lot more welcome whenever they're on campus. And just to talk about our student support services, so we do have financial aid available for anyone that's looking to apply for OSAP or looking for information on different bursaries, scholarships, and awards. We do have a Center for Accessible Learning that will help students with either permanent or non-permanent disabilities, visible and non-visible disabilities as well. So we do have lots of great accommodations through our assistive technology department as well as tutoring service and testing services available through the Center for Accessible Learning. We also have our student success specialist, which is like the GPS of our campus. So if you know how your GPS works, you have point A and point B, with point B in this case being graduating as an Algonquin grad. If any point during your journey, if you're not quite sure who to speak to progress towards the next point of your goal, if you're stuck on any one thing, you're not quite sure, who you need to talk to, our student success specialist would be your best first point of contact, and then she can give you the best a direction to who you need to speak to next. We also have counseling services available as well for anyone that from out of town, if they're feeling stressed about being away from home for their first time. If there's any students that have anything going on in their personal life that's impacting their studies, they can go see our counselor, reference any of the mental health resources and initiatives that we do have on campus as well. And she also does career counseling sessions as well for anyone that's in a particular program. They're not quite sure how they want to, what pathway they want to take out of that program. By doing a career counseling session with our counselor, they can get maybe put on more direct path with more information there. We also have health services available on campus as well to help students if they need any like over-the-counter medications such as like, you know, Tylenol, Advil, things like that, direct first aid. We do have the fall flu shot clinic available as well for anyone in a healthcare program that does need their flu shot, or if you're someone that usually gets your flu shot, you can make your appointment on campus. Maybe a little bit different this year, but those things are still being worked out. But our health services will still be available either on campus or virtually in some sort of aspect for the fall. And all of these services, all of our student support services will be available in a remote fashion, just as your classes are going to be in the fall. So if you do need to connect with anyone, we are monitoring our emails. We do monitor our voicemails as well, and we can set up Zoom chats, things like that, if you do want to connect face-to-face. We also have co-op support and academic coaching available as well. So our business program is one of our co-op programs. So there's a co-op module that you will have to complete in the first term of the program to get you ready to start applying for your co-op positions come January. So once you complete those first modules, and once you start into January, you'll get access to the co-op job postings that are available through the AC Online co-op portal. And then through the co-op support, you get to work with our co-op officer, you know, building up some of your resume, doing some cover letter skills, interview assistance as well. Because when you get to the point of applying for those jobs, it is like an actual job search. So you have access to the posting, you have your resume, you have your cover letter, you reach out to that employer for their call position like you would if you were applying for a job outside of school. And then the employer contacts you to link up an interview. You go in for an interview and go through that entire interview process. And then if they make the decision to hire you, then you'll get your co-op position that way. But it is essentially like a full job search like you would experience outside of school to get you right into that mindset of having your cover letters and resumes in tip-top shape, making sure that they are going to stand out and make sure that you are highlighting all your skills to make sure you're going to pop out among the resumes that the employers are looking through. Then we also have academic coaching available through our library, which is a free service to all students. So the academic coaches are faculty members that are available to help students in areas such as English, math, communications, biology, chemistry, physics, MLA, APA formatting, test taking, essay writing skills, things like that. So they are a really great resource for the students as well. And then just to talk about a little bit about the student experience. So we do like to promote our work-life balance for the students. So going forward with the fall term, we are working to have some really great engaging activities for the students to partake in, whether it be virtually or maybe in some sort of a face-to-face social distance format, but most likely a lot of it is going to be a virtual type of orientation type of activities. But with our experience of putting on lots of fun activities on campus, I'm sure that we'll have no problem with having lots of fun engaging activities in a virtual format as well. And going forward, we'll probably miss Halloween this year on campus, but hopefully once we return to campus and hopefully in the winter in January, we'll be able to have some sort of big celebration for everyone coming back on campus that way. We have lots of great study spaces around campus. This particular one is right at the front in our landing space, which is the pub space owned by the Students Association, but it is available for low-key study sessions during the day, and then we also have different study pods around the campus as well for students to be able to work on some assignments outside of class. And then one of our newest features for the campus was our rock wall that we just got finished right before the shutdown. I actually got to experience climbing up on it probably about a week before I had to leave. So whenever we are allowed back on campus, this is going to be a really great feature for students to use. And they're actually going to be using it for some training purposes in some of our outdoor training programs as well. And then this picture is just from our student staff hockey game that we had last February, in which is our culminating activity for our winter carnival that we usually have in late February or early March. And then we have at the end of the day a women's game as well as a men's game for the student staff hockey game, in which the last couple of years the students have been performing really well, but we're going to start getting on the winning side hopefully in the coming years. So I'm going to talk about a bit about some graduation testimonials that have come through over the years from our business program. So this is from Sarah Michael, who is a graduate from the class of 2017. And her testimonial is, the business program opened to me to different opportunities I did not know existed, and I will pursue in the economics and marketing programs at Carleton to work on a career choice I'm passionate and excited for. So in this case, Sarah took advantage of one of the articulation agreements in this particular case with Carleton University to build on her education that she got through the business program to go forward with a career in economics and marketing. This testimonial here is from Laura Ganu, and she is from the class of 2013, and she is the owner of Valley Apex Training Grounds here in Pembroke. So Laura, through gaining the knowledge of the business program at Algonquin, she didn't even hesitate when she had the opportunity to become a business owner. She felt so confident and knowledgeable from what she got from the program. And what benefited her the most was her studies through the courses for the business planning, where I mentioned about building your business plan, and accounting. Of course, starting any business, you do need to have a business plan and know how to manage your money. So those classes really do set you up very well for success. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she did open that 3 or 4 years ago, and it is one of the busier gyms within the local area as well. Now this testimonial is from Jason Blaine. So he is a country recording artist. He currently lives down in Nashville, but he is a graduate from the class of 2000, as well as the 2015 Algonquin College Alumnus of the Year, and that covers across the whole college, not just the Pembroke campus. So Jason wrote, he believed his time at Algonquin really did provided him with some great foundational tools that were essential to building and sustaining a career in a highly competitive music industry. So if anyone knows or has heard of Jason's work, he has won several different Canadian Music Awards as well as American Country Music Awards as well. And then we also have a graduate testimonial from a military spouse, Shelby Han, who graduated with the class of 2018. So she writes that this is a great program for military spouses and family members because no matter where you end up, there will be career options. Talk about the versatility of the business diploma. If she could guess, she would say that 75% of her class at that time had some type of military connection, especially with us being right close to Petawawa. We do get a lot of that at the Pembroke campus, and whether they served in the military or were family members. It is a great support system that we do have on campus for those military spouses or former military members. And the business program is one of the more popular programs for those transitioning military members or military spouses, because if you think on the military spouse side, if their spouse gets posted to, whether they go to Borden, Kingston, somewhere else in Canada, they still have a business diploma that they can apply to lots of different career options, no matter where they are in Canada or in the world. So I'm going to take this time and introduce a couple more of our alumni that have been gracious to take the time out of their day to join us here for this session. So we do have Des Bear Patel, who is the VP of Operations and the General Manager at Integrated Health Center here in Pembroke. And as I mentioned, he's from my class, the class of 2012. And as well, I have Angie Plummer, who works with Herb and Shaw Sons Limited, also in Pembroke, in the Reception and Accounts Payable Department. And as I mentioned, she did just graduate this last December. So she's a fresh graduate from the program. So Des and Angie, how about you say hi to everyone?
Hello, everyone.
All right. So Angie, just to let everyone know, what was your experience like into the in the business program?
I can't say enough good things about the business program. I was a mature student, and the campus is beautiful. The faculty is so welcoming, and everyone just feels together. And what you learn is life changing. I mean, I have changed careers a few times, but I finally found my niche. I found where I belong, and I actually have bringing skills to the table. And I know it was my education that I got that enabled me to get this position that I currently have.
Awesome. And Des, how about you? What was your experience like in the program?
So I took the program because at the time I was coming out of high school and I didn't know what I wanted to do. And the program really helped me narrow what I wanted to do and helped me find a passion that I didn't really know was there, and helped spark something within me. It gave great hands-on experience, but also the theoretical knowledge that you need. And it's a short, condensed, but jam-packed with knowledge and great content, and the professors are amazing.
Awesome. And I think both of you referenced it in your answers, but how you were drawn to the program. As you said, it was around the everything that it offered. You weren't quite sure what you wanted to take, but through doing the research on the program, it definitely looked like it was the best fit for you at that point, right?
Yeah, it was short. I knew I wanted to go on to university, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. And this was a short program and allowed me to get in and out and then move on to university, which was my goal. And at the time, my goal was to become a teacher. And after the business program, it ignited a passion in me. And at a time when my family business was growing, so it allowed me to get a lot more involved and get that hands-on experience.
Oh, I can totally echo that. For myself, it was a career change, and just that the in and out, that condensed, and then the co-op option, that really blew me away, and that was just fundamental in enhancing the skills, and then applying what you're learning and being able to put it into working force and see exactly what you're learning, and that it actually does have a manner, and it matters.
Yep.
And I can certainly echo that from my perspective too, because when I graduated or when I applied for the program, I had already had a college diploma underneath my belt, but I wasn't able to find work within that field. So I'd actually moved back to, I'm from Pembroke originally, so I'd moved back to Pembroke. I was working for a bit, and I had applied to the business program. When I went in, I did have ideas to what I wanted to do after the program, but through my co-op at the college, it was able to get my foot into the door there, and that's where I find myself now. So yeah, opportunities like that, you could have a plan going in, but through some of the courses, through some of the people you meet, through some of the experiences in the program, it can definitely change your plan most times for the better. And so what was the probably, let's go with maybe the top 2 things that you're able to get out of the program.
You have to narrow it down to 2?
Well, you can go more than that.
For me, part with co-op was, again, and for myself, it's accounting. I've always been, math has never been my strong point, but having, Kim is the accounting instructor, and, she was able to take your hand, not hold your hand, but take you through it and be able to present it in a real world atmosphere. And that's the whole thing, is everything is real world. It's not just a fictional thing from a book that you're scrolling through and yeah, okay, it's actual real life. And that is 2 of the main things for me.
I would have to agree. I think the 2 things first, when I was in the program, I used the student support services. So they really helped me work through the program, so I stayed organized and was able to get all my assignments in on time. But then again, I'm going to echo what Angie said and say that math has never been my strong suit. So to have the professor actually take the time and sit down with me and actually walk me through the concept so I actually understood it. And in high school, like, it was like they would always use theoretical examples and it never worked with me. So this was real, and the professors had real examples that they could give to show how what we were learning actually related.
All right, so yeah, so we were able to talk about what you're able to get the program. How about what are you doing now within your jobs and your works right now?
Do you want me to start?
Yeah,
In my role as the VP operations at the Integrated Health Center, I oversee the daily operations of the business. I do recruitment, marketing, I do the accounting, and I manage a staff of about 13 people to make sure that this place runs smoothly for clients so that we can provide the highest quality of care. Through the program, I've also been able to attain, I sit on 2 boards locally, and that I don't know I would have the opportunity otherwise if I didn't A, move back to town, and B, have the experience I have through the program at Nipissing and Algonquin. And more recently, I also, with my experience in HR, I've also been able to attain a teaching position at the college.
And myself, lo and behold, it was accounting, believe it or not. Never ever would have imagined that, but I use the accounts payable. So I do everything that our company purchases. So I look after making sure that those are entered, and then that the payments are sent out on time, and at month end, make sure that what we said we spent and what we actually paid for match. And I work really closely with the controller to make sure that our ins and outs are balanced, and that keep an eye on things, make sure we're not spending too much where we shouldn't be. I also work really closely with the owners as well. I do little memos for them and put together tables and charts. So I use a lot of the computer skills I learned during college as well. I didn't really have that much of Excel experience, but I strengthened that. And actually, I was actually praised on some of my skills, and that helped me to get the job. And in the accounting, we learned Sage software, and that's actually the program that they use here. So, just what you're learning, you can apply immediately.
And one thing that I got out of both of those answers, and I can apply it to myself as well, is the things that we are doing a whole lot now. We weren't exactly the strongest in those areas when we started the program, but through the courses, through the support system that's available, that's what was able to essentially make us successful in what we're doing now. So even for someone going into a program, if you're someone that struggled in math, struggled with doing presentations, things like that, struggled on like the social media side or like the technical aspects, things like that, the courses, they start you off right at the base. Everyone kind of starts off even level, and they build you up from there. So you're all learning the same things, and you can always toss ideas off of each other. But essentially through that system, if you're not fully confident in one area at the start, if you put in the work, you're going to be really good at the end.
Exactly. So true.
Agreed.
And I did hear you mention a couple times through your answers. So what types of support services did either of you use while you're in school?
For myself?
Sorry, go ahead, Angie. You start, Angie.
Okay. For myself, I actually used the counseling. Just stress of life, I'm a mom, and being at home and balancing work life or home life and school, it can be difficult. And I am a perfectionist, unfortunately, and I struggled really at the end, burnout. I had to get that 4.0 kind of thing, and the counseling service was amazing. She's an amazing counselor, and just helped me realize, put things in perspective, and got me through when I thought that I wasn't going to make it. Amazing.
Okay. And I had an IEP. which is an individualized education plan. And so I worked with the student support specialist to like just keep me organized. They gave me they set me up with extra testing time and a separate room when I needed that. They helped me get my textbooks in a digital format because reading, I'm a very slow reader, so putting it in a digital format allowed me to like do text to read so I could get the information faster. They helped me with note taking if I needed that help. So it was really great support done. And what I really appreciated was they would give me the letter to give to my prof, but they would also send the letter to the professor so that should I feel uncomfortable, the professor knew who I was and that I had the letter.
The nice thing too, there's a lot of peer counseling as well, and sometimes, you know, approaching a professional, it's can be daunting, and you don't always want to open up things. And I know there's a system that they call the purple couch, where you can have some trained mentors that you can sit with and who maybe have gone through something that you can talk to. I know a lot of the students with anxiety, they just kind of feel comfortable just having someone there to listen. If you know, and maybe their life experiences they can share with you. Well, this worked for me, or you know, have you tried that? And sometimes it's just a matter of having someone to just listen and just be there.
Awesome. Yeah, so well, thank you both for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today. You're certainly welcome to stick around if you can for the Q&A. But if anyone does have any questions about the program, my contact information is here, as well as Kim Drake, who is the program coordinator. Kim, did you want to throw in a couple words?
Hi. No, everything that everybody said was perfect. It is going to be remote this fall, but we will be doing it synchronous, which means that if class is supposed to start at 9, then I will be on a Zoom at 9 o'clock and delivering it remotely as opposed to online. So if class is 2 hours, and I will be there for 2 hours, and all your other professors will be available in the class time to provide as much face-to-face support as we can in a virtual environment. So trying to mimic what we would do, all of our best practices from the classroom onto the the virtual world for this fall. Advantage days are in September 3rd, so we will be doing that as well to get people organized. And yeah, even the applied learning with the businesses in town. I'm meeting with the economic developer this Thursday to discuss how we can still provide that in a COVID environment, and what businesses may be interested in doing something with us still. So that's still to be determined.